Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director David Riggleman. Coming up on this show, a community devastated and outraged after a local teen is hit and killed by an accused drunk driver. More on her life and the efforts underway to address drunk driving concerns right here in Las Vegas. Joining us for this very important discussion is our Ward 6 Councilwoman, Nancy Brune. Councilwoman, welcome back to the program.
Good morning, David.
Yeah, tough discussion today, but a very important one that we're going to have. So. You know Ward 6 very well. It's your area that you represent. For those of you out there not exactly sure where Ward 6 is, well, don't worry. We'll show you on the map. It's the great northwest area of the city of Las Vegas. If you live in this area or work in this area, then of course you're in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And if you're a resident out there, of course, you're represented on the city council by Nancy Brune, as I said. Well, today's conversation is a difficult one, as I mentioned. The community is still grappling with the death of an 18-year-old senior hit and killed by an accused drunk driver back on May 2nd. Joining our discussion today is Clark County School District Trustee Lydia Dominguez. Lydia, thank you so much for being here. Tough discussion, but we really appreciate you being with us today. I know this is something that Councilwoman has heard quite a bit since this happened back on May 2nd. So,
yes. Thank you so much.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I do have to say that I am not a representative of the entire board. I'm here as an individual, but I really appreciate the conversation, so thank you.
Yeah, it was great to have you here. I wish the circumstances perhaps were better. I know both of you are getting an earful from students and parents and the community in general. What can you tell us as far as the feedback and how your response has been at this point?
Yeah. A lot of the students have been really affected by this, and the community just the entire community really has been hurt by this, and we hear that something needs to be done, and I hear it, I know Nancy hears it, and we are just ready to work together as a district and as a city together.
Yeah. Of course, this happened at Arborview High School, which is out in Ward 6, and the city, for our part in this, Councilwoman is aware of this, but Trustee Dominguez, we've got a traffic study underway. We've made some changes out there along Whispering Sands Drive to prevent people from doing U-turns during drop-off and pickup.
Well, I will say, David, we did that last year, actually,
Correct.
when the CCSD police came to one of my bocaditos with Brune and actually shared some of his concerns about the traffic flows. Immediately, the city responded, and we put out the median so you couldn't make U-turns.
Exactly.
And I think the traffic study that you mentioned is due out any day, so we're hopeful that there will be some items in there that we can take action on.
Yeah, for sure. Aside from all that, obviously those things will be a help potentially, but at the heart of all of this is the fact that we had a driver accused of being about 3 times the legal limit. And I think as a community, we really have got to get our arms around curbing that. That was really at the heart of the problem here.
Well, I will share that Senator Steinbeck, who represents actually our area, he has a bill, Senate Bill 309, which actually addresses the issue of drunk driving by imposing harsher penalties. And, you know, he's struggling to get a hearing. So I've been encouraging all the moms and the residents who've been reaching out to me to please go out and show support for that bill. Because at the end of the day, to your point, we could have had all the safety measures there that people want, and you can't control bad behavior. And so it's a shame, and it's an epidemic. It feels like every week we're hearing about another person
so true.
run over by a drunk driver.
Yeah, and it's just devastating for the community. I know that graduation out of Arborview is going to be, or was, I'm sure, very tough for everyone to handle. Especially too, it was so shocking about this. The accident happened at about 11:30 in the morning, and Mackenzie Scott was just walking across to get her cap and gown to graduate. Just a devastating chain of events and set of events.
Yeah, and I know even the staff that reacted were very affected by this. It was a very difficult situation for the entire staff at Arborview. The graduation memorial was very beautiful, and we were very happy to be able to make sure that she got a memorial. And you know, it's very difficult when a child passes away, and it's, that loss of life is very traumatic for everyone.
What is your message to parents? I'm sure you're getting quite a lot of communication back to you. What has been your message to the parents and to the students themselves?
Yeah, This is going to be a community effort. This takes everyone from Carson City to all the way down to parents in our community assisting. This is not just a one-person effort. This is going to be everyone. And we do have to change the way we look at drinking and driving. There can't be, you can't have a bar, where you're serving alcohol and just leaving people to drive like that. So this is definitely going to take a community effort.
Well, I wanted to just make sure we get some data points on on record, because I learned so much talking to you. It is going to take a community effort, and I think we need stronger partnerships between Metro, CCSD, police, the city, et cetera. And I know that in the past we've actually conducted some sting operations at some of our schools that have been identified as issues. But you were sharing that CCSD police actually, they're really limited in like their size. I know Metro has some
Absolutely.
staffing challenges. So, would it be possible for CCSD police to actually put a traffic or motorcycle cop at every single school, or what does that look like?
Yeah, that would not be feasible at the moment. So there is a study out there that says there should be one officer to every 1,000 people or residents. And so if you apply that to CCSD, that would be about 290 officers needed. And we currently...
Additionally to what we have now.
No, just total.
Additionally to like what we have now, that would be the total. But with what we have now is 175. And so we have about 6 that are just traffic cops. And those are the motorcycle cops. And so 6 to all of Clark County does not equal every school. But yeah, we do need more visualization on these schools and more traffic cops out there.
Well, a tragedy like this certainly brings a lot of attention, and hopefully some change will come with it. I know that you two are working very hard on that. So, Trustee Dominguez, thank you so much for being with us. Tough discussion, but we're going to continue our discussion related to drinking and driving in a minute or so. But again, thank you for being with us, and good luck to you and all those out in the area that you represent. It's a tough time right now. So thank you so much. Well, as I mentioned, we need to take a short break, but coming up, we'll tell you what additional measures local police are taking to stem drunk driving right here in the Valley. Please stay with us.
If you smoked, this new lung cancer screening could save your life. Visit SaveByTheScan.org.
Welcome back, everyone. We're discussing drunk driving and efforts to tackle the deadly impact on our community. As we've been telling you earlier in the program, back in May, an 18-year-old student was hit and killed by an accused drunk driver near Arborview High School. And sadly, her family isn't the only one devastated by impaired driving. We're back with Councilwoman Nancy Brune, and our second guest is Lieutenant Cody Fulweiler from the Metropolitan Police Department. He's with the Traffic Division. Lieutenant, thank you so much for being here. This is a tough discussion. We were talking about this earlier. The loss of an 18-year-old at 11 o'clock in the morning, hit by an accused drunk driver, is just really hard to get your head around. But you guys deal with this stuff almost on a daily basis, don't you?
Unfortunately, we do. And in that specific case, I think it's important to highlight her name, Mackenzie Scott, and I feel for her parents and for her friends and the school. As a parent myself, it's unfathomable, the loss that they have, especially just before she graduates from high school and moving on to college. But it is something, unfortunately, that we are seeing on the rise here in Las Vegas. As we were talking about before, being born and raised here in Las Vegas, the Valley has just expanded. There's so many events that are going on, and entertainment is a key aspect to our city and allows us to thrive. With that comes alcohol. Obviously, we've seen cannabis now involved too. And we want people to have fun here. We do. And the people that live here have fun too. But with that comes responsibility. And we need people to understand that there are options out there other than driving, getting behind the wheel. There's rideshare. There's plenty of hotels out there, and there's times to just stay at home, and we need folks to do that. We have things here for the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department that are working and collaborating with other agencies. One example of that to enforce DUI specifically was just over this previous weekend, over Memorial Day. We call it a DUI blitz. And over a big weekend like Memorial Day, it's called a Super DUI Blitz. And it was Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And over those 3 days, just to give kind of an example number-wise, we did 966 vehicle stops, wrote about 567 citations, and had 58 DUIs. And with that, there was also some other arrests, about 20 other arrests, and 5 firearms that were recovered too.
My goodness.
So, and that, again, that is a collaborative effort with not only Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, traffic, but our patrol, NHP or NSP now, city marshals, North Las Vegas, and our corrections side to also help with that. So, and very proud to say there were no fatalities over this weekend.
Yeah, I know that was one of the things, Vision Zero, everyone was really working hard to make sure it didn't happen. It's a deadly weekend often.
Yes, absolutely.
That number of DUIs is actually lower than I expected.
Yes.
And speaking of collaboration, I will share that sort of unsafe driving or risky driving practices around our schools seems to also be a really common issue,
Great
even
point.
when DUIs aren't involved. And I just want to publicly say Metro has been great, really partnering with the marshals, our team, and the school police to sort of do some sting operations to write tickets and make sure that parents aren't speeding through the school zones or doing U-turns illegally. So I just want to thank you because you've always been very responsive.
Absolutely. And that's a really key point too, and school police around the schools, we work with them quite frequently. And it is, we do see the parents, unfortunately, they're running late to pick up their kids or trying to drop them off, and just slowing down. That's the biggest thing. That's, one of our top 3 causal factors of fatalities is speed, fail to yield right away, and then impairment, not just alcohol, but also drug use as well. So anytime that we can slow folks down, that is.
Say those again, Lieutenant, for all of us to hear. These are the deadly things: speed, failure to yield, and impairment.
That is correct.
So those are things that we all can do something about.
100%. And we are out there along with other agencies and the engineering aspect. When you look at traffic and Vision Zero, it's the 3 E's: engineering, education, and enforcement. And we're doing those. And as I said, born and raised here in the city, I love Las Vegas. We really need the people that live here to uphold them to that and follow those simple rules and watch their speed. Yield the right of way, and impairment, we can fix that. Don't do it.
Lieutenant, just for our viewers, because I get a lot of sort of complaints, or there's a lot of people posting on Nextdoor, where's Metro, why aren't they enforcing? Can you just share it so that our residents know how many traffic patrol officers do you have? I mean, can you be in every single zip code or be on every single street, or what is the man staffing look like for enforcement?
For example, in traffic, our agency is very unique. Traffic has about 128 assigned motor officers. That also includes our fatal team, our hit and run team, and our raid team that focuses on apprehension and the vehicles that are speeding and things like that. But each area of town has their own area command that has patrol officers that are also helping us out, obviously other agencies. But there are also calls for service and other items included in that. For traffic, for Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, we are the only ones that respond and actually handle the collision investigations within the Las Vegas Metropolitan jurisdiction. Our patrol officers do not. They will respond, obviously, but they don't handle the collision investigation aspect of it. So the motor officers are the ones that do handle that. So if there's a lot of collisions occurring, it's difficult to get out there and do enforcement. For sure. And we do have other aspects. We have grants that we work with other agencies and joining forces. And then we also have our DUI strike team as well that works in the later evening hours to focus in on those impaired drivers.
Yeah, where it might be. Lieutenant, we're just about out of time with you, but is there anything else you'd like to add to tell the Councilwoman and me and our viewers?
The biggest thing is that we are out there. Know that we will find you if you're driving impaired. And if anything, this case is a tragic case with Mackenzie Scott.
Beyond.
And if it's not going to change your driving behavior, please just look at this instance. It changed her life, her family's life, the school's life, and also the person that hit her. It's going to change his life and his family's life for the rest to go. So it's very simple. Just don't drive impaired. Use a ride share, stay in a room, and slow your speeds down.
Yeah. All right. Lieutenant Cody Fulweiler, thank you so much for being with us. Great job, great discussion. Again, I wish it were a better, happier topic, Councilwoman, but obviously a very important one. So, Councilwoman, please stick around. We need to take another quick break, but when we return, we'll talk with one of the city's top traffic experts on what they're doing to improve driver and pedestrian safety right here in the city. It's right after this.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back once again, everyone. We continue our conversation on drunk driving and what the city is now doing to address the growing problem. Joining Councilwoman Brune and me for this discussion is the Deputy Director of Public Works. He's been on the show before, Joe Norby. Joe, welcome back to the program. Great to see you again.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. And we love our Ward 6. So I'm glad to be here with Councilwoman Brune to talk about this very, very tough subject.
It is.
Really.
It is really tough. We were talking about Mackenzie Scott, May 2nd, hit and killed outside of Arborview High School. Joe, talk about the fact that after every fatal accident, your team does an assessment of what occurred and what might have been done to prevent it.
Yeah, so whenever we get notification from Las Vegas Metro Police Department or even through, city's Department of Public Safety, we go out and we investigate. We want to make sure that what we have in place is in proper working condition, and then we want to make sure that if there's anything that we can do to prevent this from happening again at the same location, that we kind of take the engineering approach to assessing the crash site, whether that be at an intersection, at a crosswalk, just the straight part of the roadway, wherever that's at.
Yeah, and then in conjunction with that, Councilwoman, we were well aware of this, they do a traffic study. They do a study following up to determine, okay, what are we going to do moving forward? And Joe, can you tell the Councilwoman and I where are we in that study, that follow-up study?
Yeah, how long does it usually take, or?
Yeah, so right now we're running about 3 to 4 weeks post an incident like this, where we try to get out there really as quick as we can.
And the team was right out there the very next school day.
They were, and we want to make sure that we assess the conditions as close as they are at the time of the incident. So our team will go out there, they'll take pictures, they'll walk around the site, they'll do an assessment. Are the signs there? Are they in proper working condition? Is there something else that can be done? Can we then take the engineering approach and say, are there additional treatments that we can do? In this case, are there additional treatments that we can put to make that crosswalk more visible or more apparent for not just the motorists, but also for the pedestrians, the cyclists, the scooters, whoever would be going through that area?
And Joe, give us some time frame. How much longer before you guys think you'll have the traffic study done related to the Mackenzie Scott situation?
So in this situation, we are near finishing it. We've done our initial data collection. We've gone out there. Our engineers are reviewing the data. We're hoping to have things wrapped up probably early next week with some recommendations that we can implement. And when we look at those implementation efforts, we look at there's those low-hanging fruit, those easy things that we can go out there and do right away, restriping, refreshing signs. But we also realize that there's some other improvements that we may want to put out there that will take some time. Yeah. And so we want to get that in the process, kind of in line to get those improvements done as soon as we can. So there will be some improvements that we can definitely get done before the next school year starts in August. But there may be some lagging improvements that we'll have to program for budgetary constraints and other things like that.
Well, I know a year ago when the CCSG police who works with Arborview came to my office and mentioned that there was, some problematic behavior with drop off and pickup and
U-turns, yeah.
You all responded so quickly. We put in the median. And I know we get a lot of calls about the need for traffic lights and things like that. Can you just share what a traffic light costs, and then how long, even if you've identified, we need to put a traffic light or some sort of traffic enhancement here, how long it takes to actually implement that? Yeah, potential cost.
And some of those, it's a very moving scale depending on the degree of improvement. There's some things that we can do in-house with our own staff, low level, under $10,000 to $20,000, and we have budget to do that kind of stuff. When you start talking traffic signals are not cheap. We're building traffic signals somewhere in the range of about $500,000. And there's an intersection, and that comes with some time. We've got to properly design it. We've got to make sure that we get everything in the right place, and then go out to construct it. So the design phase of some of these improvements, some of these larger improvements, can take us upwards of a year to get designed, and then about another 6 months to a year, depending on not severity, but how large the project is to implement. So,
Joe, I have to ask you, I know that we do everything we can as far as the engineering component, but when you have someone who's accused of being 3 times the legal limit at 11 o'clock in the morning, is there anything that there's really not anything I wouldn't think that you could engineer in to prevent something like that? I don't know. I'll throw that question to you, but it seems like at some point the person behind the wheel has to take some responsibility.
that is the tragic part of it. We can engineer to a large degree, and we do. Our systems engineering approach for improvements is we try to factor in what is the worst case scenario, what are some of those things we can do. But there is that responsibility point. Each of us, we can engineer, we can educate, we can do programs like this where we go out and we talk about the importance of traffic safety and being a responsible driver. But at the end of the day, there's a portion of that onus that falls upon, that is incumbent upon that driver. Those behind the wheel
and the
to
pedestrians,
be the responsible.
and as you said, Joe, the
bicyclists.
bicyclists and those on a scooter. You can't just shoot out into traffic.
There's
not
a
that
lot.
Mackenzie was doing that. We're not insinuating that at all here. But for all of us out there, if we're riding, biking, using a scooter, driving the car, take that responsibility. And to your point too, Joe, pay attention. We seem to always be looking at a phone or something like that these days. So.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that. We try the best we can. We engineer. We've got a lot of data that helps us get to that point. But we also want to be cognizant that when we step behind the wheel, we take on that responsibility. We're not invincible.
Yeah.
We're not invisible either. When we're in the roadway, we need to make sure that we're taking all the precautions that we can to not just protect ourselves, but our community as a whole.
All right. Joe Norby, Deputy Director, Public Works, one of our traffic experts here at the city. Great to have you on the program, Joe. Good luck with all that you're doing. Councilwoman, me, the rest of us, all anxious to see what the traffic study related to Mackenzie's accident will look like. And I know that the city's team will do whatever we can to enhance that area if need be, based on what the study says. And that you and your team will go to the nth degree to make sure all that happens. So, all right. Joe, thank you so much. Councilwoman, please stick around. We're going to step aside one more time. But when we return, we're going to tell you about a couple of exciting events that are coming out to Ward 6. It's right after this.
Huntington!
Every proper bear knows that the right fit means everything. Especially when it comes to car seats.
Oh, really? I just did what any bear would do.
So know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size.
I like it.
To learn more, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Oh, hello there. Oh,
Where's that bear?
Welcome back once again. We're continuing our discussion with Councilwoman Nancy Brune from Ward 6. And Councilwoman, you have some cool events coming up that we want to tell everybody about.
We do.
First is Movie in the Park. This is coming up on Saturday, May 31st. We know some of you will see this after the fact, but many of you will see it before because our show airs over a week. But it's one of our personal favorites, both of us. Ratatouille.
Yeah. And we're happy to be partnering with the Iron Mountain HOA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
So we'll tell everybody that is going to be the 31st. What's about sundown? Is that the idea, Councilwoman? Partnership with Iron Mountain. And if you've not seen this movie, it's very charming. You'll really enjoy it. And
Bring snacks, your blankets, your low back chairs.
Exactly. Check it out.
We'll have some raffle prizes too, really cute raffle prizes that our team has put together. So excited.
And the evenings, even this time of year, are nice still.
Yes.
The days can be a little warm, but the evenings are always very nice. So, and then this next event, Councilwoman, I love this. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but you can fill me in a little bit. But the Dazzle Prom is taking place on June 7th.
Yep.
from 4 to 7. What is the Dazzle Prom exactly?
So it's basically a special dance calling out the theme of prom that every young person goes to, and it's a dance for folks with different abilities, so ages 16 and above. I love it. My daughter actually got a YNAP grant last year and organized one.
Oh, very nice.
And then, you know, I think both Councilman Alan Polinsky and I really tried to respond to neighbors' requests, and so one of her residents also came to her with the idea of doing a dance, and so we partnered because we were each going to do a dance, and it's really blown
That's
up.
terrific.
And I will share, we are capped at space. So please, if you haven't gotten your ticket, please do call. I think we've got 350 total places, and we're expecting that folks will come and maybe a caretaker or a guardian to come dance the night away. But we're going to have red carpet and just lots of activities. And even if you don't like to dance, there will be an opportunity to go into a quiet room and maybe play a game, or we have a drawing wall. So there's going to be something for everybody, including free snacks and food. So don't miss it.
And you know, kudos to you, your daughter, whoever came up with this idea. I think this it sounds terrific. And so again, folks, you're the councilwoman. If you're thinking about going, don't waste any time because we're filling up fast. And again, that's coming up on June 7th. I'm going to give you a number before the end of the program to call if you want to try to RSVP. So, all right. Councilwoman, always a pleasure. Thanks for being on the program once again. Good discussion, tough discussion.
Tough conversation. And again, our hearts remain with Mackenzie Scott's family during this challenging time. So.
Sure. And folks, learn the lesson on this. Just please take it easy when you get behind the wheel. As Lieutenant Cody Fulweiler said, speed, lack of yielding, you know, you're not yielding the right of way, and impairment are the three terrible things that drivers do that cause the most problems. So let's not go there.
Yeah.
All right.
Make it a safe summer.
Exactly right. That's what we all want. So. Well, folks, we want to tell you, we always want to hear from you. So if there's something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Brune, you can call her at 702-229-5463 or send her an email. The address is ward6@lasvegasnevada.gov. You can also visit the Ward 6 website or subscribe to the Councilwoman's newsletter, which I'll tell you how to do in just a few minutes. So, folks, please don't miss our next show beginning on June 5th with Ward 1 Councilman and Mayor Pro Tem Brian Knutson. We want to thank you for joining us. City of Las Vegas TV is streaming now. You can find all of our programming or watch online at lasvegasnevada.gov/connect. And watch for that QR code, as I mentioned, in the closing credits so that you can subscribe to the Councilwoman's newsletter. Folks, thanks for watching, everyone, and we will see you next time around.